Okay, so today's piece is in Freundschaft by Karl-Heinz Stockhausen, which I think was first a piece for clarinet, but today we're looking at the flute version. Yes, so this is, believe 1977 is the date I have. So it's like kind of late Stockhausen, or like getting there. We're not quite at his opera cycle leaked, but we're getting there, right? It looks like the whoever had this score translated all the German into French in pen here. So yeah, some pretty detailed performance notes directly in the score. And then there's this program note in French, which is just handwritten. Yeah, I'm not sure what this document is, like in what shape this score was when it was scanned. But yeah, it says dedicated to Suzanne Stevens, the clarinetist, for her birthday, I guess, the 28th of July, 1977. It was called In Friendship, for those who don't know. It's his 46th work, and it's a serial composition. Yeah, the clarinet version was written in 1977. And yeah, like I was saying, his third period, which is mainly focused on the composition of Licht, the opera cycle, starts in 1977, right after this piece. So he immediately made the flute version after, like 4 days after the clarinet version. It was premiered by Lucille Goers and Marjorie Shanksky in the flute version. That was for Stephanie's birthday. Or sorry, that was for Stephen's birthday. The premiere of the version for clarinet wasn't until November 1978 by Suzanne Stevens as part of a homage to Messiaen concert in Paris, I think. And the oboe version was premiered by Heinz Holliger in 1979. It was adapted for basset horn with an extended range to C, also in 1979. And then the first authorized bass clarinet performance of it was in 1981. Stockhausen made a version for cello in 1981, which was premiered by Warren Stewart at the Eastman School of Music. Also, there's a violin version. The bassoon version followed in 1982, premiered by Kim Walker. Stockhausen, during the bassoon version premiere, said the piece made him imagine a giant teddy bear playing it, like the one he had as a small child. So Kim Walker premiered the bassoon version dressed as a teddy bear, commissioning a costume for that. It's kind of interesting. Trombone version was requested by Mark Tezak, and this was in 1982. John Sampin requested a version for soprano saxophone, also in 1982. So Stockhausen continued to make these. 1983, version for horn was premiered by Alejandro Govea Zapino. I guess it was prepared for rehearsals in 1983, but the horn one, further changes were made and it was finalized in 1984 for a premiere by Jens McManama. That was celebrating Pierre Boulez's 60th birthday. So the piece has like this association with, I guess, childhood nostalgia, like the teddy bear thing, but it also has this like attachment to like birthday concerts. So I think that's kind of interesting. A version for alto recorder was made in 1984 for Guiche Gedert. The cello version has also been played by double bass. There's also a version for tuba based on the cello version. His son Marcus gave the trumpet version premiere on a trumpet in E flat. in 1997. So that's the latest one. Okay. um, yeah, I mean, obviously there's a ton of albums that this piece is on. Kind of like another piece from this time that we looked at, the Zodiac pieces by Stockhausen, which have even more versions, right? There's like all kinds of instrumentations for that. The original was like uh, clarinet and piano or something. I can't remember. Link in the video description to the recording, and I guess I'll see you in however long this one takes. Okay, it's actually quite long, typically running between 10 and 15 minutes. Hey, yeah, so I guess I didn't do my research that well. I didn't realize the piece had a lot of movement. So it makes sense. Suzanne Stevens, the clarinetist who the first version was dedicated to, she also premiered his work Harlequin, which is a much larger, more physically intense, like solo clarinet piece. This is more of a nice little show piece. I liked a lot of the movements for flute. And I understand why Stockhausen had to take care to authorize one version after another because the instruments have a different physicality, so you'd have to like come up with different movements and choreography for each version. So I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe do a study on all the different versions and what Stockhausen did from a choreographer's perspective. Um, yeah, the opening is really the most like um, distinctive part of the piece. This like tick tock back and forth between two notes, um, then like adding different gestures in and speeding it up. That's a very simple idea, but very striking and really useful if you want to start introducing movement. You know, having simple ideas like that. Yeah, that was an interesting one. I definitely didn't know what to expect today with Stockhausen, right? But it was a really interesting piece and definitely one that I think more flautists should play, if anything, just to like have the experience of like doing a piece with a lot of movement and uh, figuring out how to play your instrument um, musically and with all your classical training and technique, but like also basically doing dance work at the same time.